So hi everyone, and welcome back to this platform here, to this hologram. This is a project for DARPA, Ashram for Marines here. This is for starseeds who ended up in those black ops. Guys who joined military, MC, under MIC, Military Industrial Complex, and then ended up in Hydra, right, owned by DARPA, with those CCP jets, and involved in horrible crimes. They were executing the Nazism 4.0, the agenda of those negative aliens. And yeah, full of implants, of course, and they're targeted individuals. So this is very complex. Here the ground crew, the Ashtar Galactic man here, and yeah, we're coming up with the project Ashram for Marines, and helping my soul group to rehabilitate their consciousness, their hologram, their DNA. And so last time we were talking about also the crucifixion implants. We were talking about these alien implants, how dangerous and how really destructive they are, the insidious implants with their destructive behaviors. And we talk about how the negative aliens, they were plastering their holograms over us, or over star seeds in in Hydra, in MC, the Marines, right? And they were overtaking their consciousness also with the alien machinery, alien implants, holographic inserts, right? And all this sodomy, black magic, right? And they ended up in that fallen tree of life. You can study all these proportions, what was done to their Shushumna channel, the central channel, what was done to their chakras, to their meridians, okay, to the light body. See, remember, we are sound. We are sound, light, frequency, vibration. Of course, all this sodomy, right? That's a so-called initiation, all this sex magic, black magic, all these red rooms, red mattresses, the AI red wave frequency, right? And they reverse the spin in their meridians, in their chakras being weaponized, computerized, and running reversals. Okay, so from this, right, from this whole black magic, sex magic, of Satanism, Luciferianism, this is, we need to start practicing this, right? We need to go back to this. Oops. Okay, learning how to channel our energies properly. Okay, and activating our DNA, and of course activation, how important to activate our chakras. Very interesting energies. Yesterday was actually new moon. I was very peaceful, relaxing. I went to the beach. I saw dolphins in the afternoon, actually in the evening. They were just cruising by a couple of times. I did some meditation, Om Namah Shivaya. There was 108 times, 3 times. Okay, and today, just kind of here in the neighborhood, just kind of getting cloudy here, but it is what it is. We have to kind of go with the flow. Here, I just wanted to show you the chakras that I've been working with, and of course, here with the star seeds, we work with the also anti-particle chakras as well, right? So that's not only your basic 7 chakras, but also you have the 8 chakra, that's the 8 chakra, 9 chakra, 10 chakra, and then here's the 11, 12, right? 12, and then, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. This is just how complex that is, okay? So we have to deal with all that to override the alien machinery, the AI that doesn't even belong to this universe, right? The Visa system, Visa deck, Visa jerk, and so on. So yeah, so here we're just touching on these 7 chakras, or here normally people think the 8 chakra is above the head, above the crown chakra, but that's fine. We include all that, of course. So you can actually study, these color spectrum frequency. Those are frequency, those are vibrations, those are energy centers. And here, especially your heart, portal to other dimensions. Here we're actually dealing with the sacred heart. Between the 5th and 4th chakra, there's 8 chakra, right? And this is what we were targeted with. Wow. So interesting energies here happening, right? After the new moon in Cancer yesterday, yeah, time to really release ourselves from all these crucifixion implants, guys. We've been here mind control and all these lies and deceptions, to humanity here, and star seeds in and in the military sector. So that's why, yeah, we need these hieros gamos, right? Here chanting, yeah, the chanting very important, and the sacred geometry needs to come back online, the Sophia lineages, right? Because those guys, some of them are Qatar of that mother lineages, and they were desecrated. So the divine union, right? The masculine energy, right, with the feminine energy, and with the center, the divine spark, with the sacred chamber of our heart. We need to reconnect with all that. Form that 0-point field. That's how we can heal, ascend, transcend. Okay, and yeah, there's the trio. Yeah, talk about the trio of life, right? How important it is, and of course we are bringing everything into divine justice, and justice will be served. So let me see, and yeah, the technology, extremely advanced technology, that was the Anti-Hieros Gamos Thotian Leviathan Cube System. Okay, the planetary corporations. Okay. So you can study all that, of course. I mentioned that many times. So, so that's why we're reclaiming a Christos body here. Okay, we are reclaiming a Christos mission. We are ending the my lab military abductions, and there was government actually trading human DNA for extremely high advanced technology. And now, you know, we had to detect all that, what really happened, and we need to correct everything, bring everything right side up, and heal from these black ops, dark projects. Okay. And we talk about also the conservation energies, right? Being inner sustained, inner directed via yoga, 8 steps of yoga, and so on. Breath work, meditation. And then we just kind of touch upon the alien implant removal module, again on energetic synthesis, right? .com, you can find the Hieros Gamos system calibration, and start embark on the journey of healing. There's a soul journey of healing, of self-empowerment, self-transformation, and self-mastery. Okay, we're in this world but not of it. Remember, the kingdom of heaven is within. How the engaged detachment is very important, and just to be observing, right? Be compassionate witness, not taking things personally, and not allowing a mind control or somebody who's mind control to wreak havoc within our lives, with our centerpiece, or just kind of how not allowed to be mind control, right? We do not submit to mind control system and alien implants anymore. So that's why we talk about the 12D, the 12D shielding again, but we'll touch base why some of us cannot connect to that 12D because of these alien implants. They're in 4D, and they're also in AD. So that's how complex this whole thing is here. Okay. But the platinum light, we can work with the platinum light or the golden light, okay, the golden liquid light, okay, very important. And here we talk about we're going to talk about the law of one, okay. So there's the universal truth that all is one, okay, and it's made of intelligent energy. It is the sacred science of mechanics of Christ consciousness. And there are the natural laws that are governing universal creation. And just understand that eternal truth is eternal love, and eternal love is the organic consciousness of infinite creator, which is God. So, an eternal love consciousness embodied in a form is unity intelligence, and it is recognized as the inner light of Christos. Unity consciousness is at one with God, and unity consciousness ignites the inner light of Christos. And the inner light of Christos, when actualized in form, is the embodiment of the eternal God human. So practicing this unity consciousness, how important it is, right? And is directly reflecting the image of God's love. So when we are of service, we are practicing the law of one. You know, this is how we are then aligning with God's love, God's will. And then we are eternally protected. So be at one with all, as one is all with God. Every soul is taking the same journey, but each soul has evolved at a different level. The teachings of the law of one describe the spiritual laws that govern our spiritual evolution for each dimension. It is a single philosophical system of world humanism, which merges cosmology, science, human rights, and spiritualism. Okay? So, and like I said, it's the universal truth that all is one. The truth taught by Christ when he proclaimed, love your neighbor as you love yourself. Okay? And so we are all direct expressions of that one source, God source. And the law of one is an energetic reality as well as a creational covenant with the founder races. Those are the solar Rishis. Okay, that's why the yoga. They're yogis. They're mystics. Just like guardian YESHUA. He mystic. One with the Father. The cosmos. The law of one is practiced by the advanced races that promote self-responsibility and accountability in our universal time matrix. Universal time matrix, that's the 12D plus 3, threefold founder flame. Also about guardian YESHUA, right? The thing where he was those 30 years and so on, and after the so-called crucifixion or resurrection, actually he was in India. He was an ascended master. He was a Buddhist monk, and there are all these now documents and all this proof that it's so. Okay, and they were actually essential glossary Lisa Renee. There are 3 Christs, and you can read. One ascended via the Giza portal. Okay, the other one, there was this kind of resurrection, and then he was teacher in India, and then there was the other kind of being that he was crucified, but that had nothing to do with the true YESHUA. Okay. So this is how those negative aliens, they are playing with our mind, and they are full of lies and deceptions. The story is basically based on lies and deception. So we have to resurrect the true teachings of YESHUA. We have to also learn how to read energies, and we need to enter our Akashic records, so we start remembering who we truly are. So the law of one expresses and acknowledges the interconnection, value, and interdependence of the spirit and consciousness that animates all things. And this is the path to God, sovereign free. Okay. So the practice 1 is unity consciousness. So like I said, things are made of intelligent energy and are part of the all. All is one creator. The law of one is the secret science of the mechanics of consciousness, and are the natural laws governing our universe. Okay, universal creation. All is one. One is the recognition that eternal truth is eternal love, and eternal love is the organic consciousness of infinite creator God. Eternal love consciousness embodied in a form is unity intelligence, and simultaneously recognized as the inner light of Christos. I know I'm repeating all that, and I'm kind of apologize, but at the same time not apologizing for the sound that is going on. All these ambulances, there are probably people needing help. They're calling for help. All kinds of things happening, but also at the same time, yesterday when I went to the beach, it was kind of already like in the evening, was 6:30, and I was seeing those dolphins. And then I was looking around whether somebody is noticing or seeing what I'm seeing. And I saw people on their phones, and then of course, parents, they have to kind of watch their children who were kind of at the shore, who were swimming in the ocean. And then I was like, okay, so here we go, here we are. Some of us, right, they're already experiencing the higher state of consciousness, or they feel the connection with the dolphins, or the 7D with the Syrians, and with the Lyrans here. Those are extremely intelligent beings, those dolphins. Extra full of joy, full of compassion, full of happiness, right? And then kind of some kind of middle-aged couple came with their little dogs. Okay, and they start noticing, oh, did you see those dolphins? So like I said, everybody's in their own bubble, like I would say. So what we are perceiving, that reflects back to us, the consciousness where we are, right? That's the level of consciousness where we are. This is what we represent: our thoughts, our thought forms, right? Our emotions, feelings, right? This is who we are. If something trigger us, or somebody trigger us, it's outside of us, right? We think it's outside of us, but we are being triggered from within. So that's why diving deep within and doing all this meditation, and how important it is to be conscious, how to be aware, how to be in the present moment. How to be mindful and then grateful and thankful for each and every breath, each and every moment. And that's how we are harmonizing these energies and how we are transforming those negative energies, transforming our inner shadow, okay? And with all these alien implants, right, that we are recognizing them, and then through the violet flame of transformation, transmutation, and following the law of one, we're able to release them. Of course, we are the support. We have the guardians of the Emerald Order. We have the Crystal Star family. Okay, we have our guardian angels, our ascension guides. They are here to assist us. Of course, Soul Christ, Archangel Michael. So it depends which kind of lineage we represent. Okay, and if we're aligning ourselves with the positive ascension, because there was also a false timeline of ascension, even 5D running reversals. Okay, AD running reversals. We have 10D, 11D, 11.5 running reversals. There's the anti-HIEROS Gamos technology, the Thotian Leviathan technology. This is how advanced the technology of the Belial Sun, the Black Sun, Nazi operations. Okay, the Alpha Draconis, the Dracos, the Reptilians, and the Fallen Angelics, the Hybrid Anunnaki. This is how advanced they are with their elite, the echelon, right? And with how they desecrated the teachings of the ascended ones, of Buddhism, of Hinduism, okay? So, and of that universal wheel of life. They turned it into so-called swastika. So we have to recognize all that and make peace with all that. And we have to connect to that inner Christos. So unity consciousness is at one with God, and unity consciousness ignites the inner light of Christos. The inner light of Christos, when actualized in form, is the embodiment of an eternal God human. Practice unity consciousness, and one is directly reflecting the image of God's love and is eternally protected. Be at one with all, as one is all with God. So for me also, like embracing the negativity, embracing our shadow, right? Detecting the ego, the negative ego that is hooked to the predator mind because of the walls of separations, all this brokenness, all these addictions that happen, right? The negative ego, the jealousy, the guilt, blame, and shame, the rage, right? The hatred, and so on, that all needs to be embraced lovingly, okay? And we need to befriend our fears. The air red wave frequency, right? The red trident, the black cube technology, the first chakra, the first dimension, right? Turning into pink. That's when we start loving ourselves unconditionally, and that's how we can grow, evolve, and expand our consciousness and correct our perception of reality. And we need to start remembering who we truly are, connection to our heart, to our divinity, to that inner Christos, following the law of one. So we have the practice 1, that was the unity consciousness. Practice 2 is loving yourself. Love yourself. So apply the practice of unity with all one as an extension towards loving, honoring, and respecting ourselves. Acknowledge the precious life force within by holding reverence and respect for yourself in all ways. So loving ourselves or loving yourself is the action of self-sovereignty, which is the natural state of embodying God's eternal love. As a manifestation of God's eternal spirit of love, one has the ability to choose to create personal freedom without harming others. So we have to practice the ahimsa, right? That's part of the yoga practice, the ethics, morals, virtues. Have courage to remove the obstacles of pain and fear. So have courage. You have to embrace it, confront it, okay? To become embodied love, to who you truly are, as God's spirit is always found within. Practice 3 is love others. As you learn to love yourself, love others. Acknowledge the precious life force in others by holding love, reverence, and respect for others. We in yoga tradition we do that through the namaste, right? So namaste, it means the light that is within me. I honor that light. It means it's honoring the light that is then within you. And if we feel equality, we come from one source. Well, we talk about the law of oneness, law of correspondence, law of unity here. So the unity consciousness, this is what we practice. The equality, the emerald order. Egalitarianism. So loving others as you love yourself is the natural state of self-sovereignty, as you give others the same reverence for their life as you give your own life. Through practicing self-love and loving others, no approval, worth, or esteem issues come into question, as all is loved equally. Isn't it love your neighbors as you love thyself? That's actually also Yeshua's teachings as well. He was the Prince of Peace, right? He was the perfect example embodiment of unconditional love, of forgiveness, and compassion, just like Kuan Yin and Holy Mother, Divine Mother, Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene. She was his equal. She was a twin flame. Okay, Mary Magdalene. So practice 4, love earth and nature. So loving the earth and all the creations, the kingdoms of nature, plants, animals, mineral, which are all alive. They're conscious and intelligent energy beings. Acknowledge the precious life force present in all God's creation by holding reverence and respect for nature. Doing so restores balance and harmony to nature, and the intelligent energy of all Earth's creations will respond to cooperate with humankind. Humans living in discord with nature create many events that are considered to be at the mercy of the untamed forces. Look what is done to Mother Earth, Mother Nature, right? And to trees and to animals. All this torture and all this contamination and GMO and all this, what I said, pollution. Horrible experimentations, right? Also on humanity and children. So as humans learn to live in harmony with earth, harmony with nature, that's, yoga, Ayurveda, with earth and the nature kingdom, the natural creatures will align to be in harmony. The natural beings will align to be in harmony and cooperation with all inhabitants. The natural creatures, you have the plant kingdom, right? The animal kingdom, even the mineral kingdom, right? So these beautiful fairies and this gnome, the salamander, these elementals. We talk about elementals, right? We talk about the fire, water. We talk about the earth, the air, the space, and of course the metal. Okay. Everything has its intelligence. So we're aligning ourselves with the law of one, right? Then they have the chance to also align themselves. We talk about the AURORA re-encryption of the elemental kingdom, because like I said, with the black goo and with all these poison parasites, because those parasites, everything that is being sprayed upon us doesn't belong to Mother Earth, Mother Nature. It's been done in all these labs, in those deep underground military bases, or whether on Moon, Mars, Saturn, and there's Nibiruan military bases. The alien technology is coming from that Visa deck or Burga system, Oma deck, the Scorpio Queen. Who knows what else the Alpha Draconis. It doesn't come from this jewel, planet Earth, Mother Nature. We're supposed to be healthy. 5-star humans, potential 12 strands of DNA. So it's time to become the divine luminous beings, okay? With those 12 strands of DNA. And same thing for my soul group. Start remembering who they truly are and the lineage they come from. They need to start loving themselves unconditionally so they can love others. So service to others, upon firmly loving yourself and honoring your path, find methods to be of service to others that do not overstep personal boundaries of discernment. Being of service to others does not include consumptive modeling such as victim, victimizer, parasitism, or emotional vampirism. Being of service does not hold an ego perspective of entitlement, expectation, or attachment. Practice being of service with unconditional love and naturally flowing in the moment. The energy exchange made between participants being of service to others amplifies and expands consciousness growth like no other method. The more you amplify the energetic field of being in service to others, the more joy, harmony, and gifts will be brought into your life. The more service you dedicate to God, plan, the law of one, the more spiritual support and spiritual presence one can exchange with God force, which is unconditional love, pure energy. Okay. And whether you're on a soul level, you receive it on a soul level. If you're on a monadic level, you receive it on a monadic level. That's your galactic self, right? That's your 7, 8, and 9 dimension. And if you're of that universal level, right, then you receive it via your Christ mind. That's your 10th dimension, Buddha mind, 11th dimension, and 12th dimension, the platinum light. And you become the Christos avatar, right? The avatar of ascension. So practice 6 is consciousness expansion. Learn to develop inner clarity and spiritual integrity by intending to develop personal consciousness or spiritual identity. To embody one's spiritual identity, one's mind must be initiated in discipline. Okay, that's why we do deep programming, rewiring of the subconscious mind, positive affirmations, violet flame invocation. You can find everything on that 12D ascension, the guardian protocol, and so on, right? So the disciplining ourselves is important, is very important. If the ego is in authority of the body, it will repel, especially the negative ego. It will repel the predator mind, right? All these walls of separation. If we still have trauma by mind control, we have huge big pain body, that would repel us, you know, our spiritual identity from embodiment. So that's why we have to pay attention. We have to dive deep within. We have to reconnect to inner Christ, right? And be compassionate and start loving ourselves unconditionally, no matter what. So if the mental body creates obstacles to the spiritual identity, the mental body, the Nazi Neuralink with all these implants, crucifixion implants, okay? The spiritual identity, therefore the consciousness will not be experienced. It means we won't be able to really experience what is Christ consciousness, which is joy, which is happiness, which is bliss. It's ecstasy. It's a cosmic orgasm. But it's natural. It's the flow of prana, of chi, right? Via the Sushumna column, that's your central channel, with all these beautiful chakras being aligned. With the star, with your star, with the star portals, with cosmic portals, with cosmos, with Andromeda. The first step to consciousness expansion is becoming aware of mind control. See how important it is to be aware of this mind control, of this MK Ultra, that all these things exist. It's been here for a long time. And the quality content of thoughts and belief system. So checking our belief system, right? Kind of examining what our belief system, what are our thoughts. That's why the subconscious mind, right? We need to, like I say, pray, meditate, the Sanskrit, and you know, the Armageddon software, pestilence programming, the guerrilla programming, that was all implanted in those guys in the military, the Marines, right, in their subconscious mind. And then of course they're just following the orders and just the impulses, right? They're coming from like from their fallen tree of life from within, right? And then they're involved in horrible crimes, and then of course they're put to either to prison, put to death, right? Death toll. And who is really doing all these things, right? Who is really responsible for all these things, huh? Tell me, right? Who is responsible for all that, right? So if this is, yeah, that, now all I see is DARPA. All I hear is DARPA. So if this is the Marine, like I said, right, or this is the elite, right, or the politician here, you're a banking here, bankers, banking cartel, and so on. Who do you think is of that black? Who owns the black rock? Who owns the planet? Or that? Well, of course, this is now the, you know, things are changing. Now is the Galactic Codex, the Galactic Command, the Ashtar Galactic Command. But with the healing process, who was really responsible for all this horrible? I mean, it's still happening, right? All these proxy wars with proxy Israel. What is happening in Israel and in Palestine and so on? And you know, it's like a virus, right? They are parasiting off of our heart. Okay, so who is really responsible? Who is really responsible? Time to really get to the bottom of it, to the root of all this, and start seeing things multidimensionally or interdimensionally, or extra dimensionally. Very important. I mean, I showed it many times. Yeah, they're the Pleiadians. I mean, they got caught up in these things. I know that they're talking to me, the Pleiadians. and I'm helping. I mean, Ashtar is also helping me, and so on, because there was Rosicrucians. They ended up in those black ops, and then of course, and then with the Nazi Neuralink, and then of course, they're in horrible, horrible state of consciousness and involved in horrible crimes. So again, being aware of the mind control, how important it is, right? And the quality content of our thoughts, belief system. The second step is to cooperate with the process of mental and physical discomfort by having patience and waiting in the void of silence. Learn to quiet the mind, sublimate the ego, and be still. Know that I am God. Once stillness, mental discipline, and ego sublimation has been achieved, listen to your inner spirit or inner voice to receive guidance. Inner guidance will always lead to the process of re-education to experience continual consciousness expansion free of fear and dogma. The inner Christos always guides one towards choosing more love and peace via consciousness expansion of the spiritual identity. And now we have practice 7, responsible co-creation. So as one becomes more infused with the eternal love of the spiritual identity, whether it's on a soul level, monadic level, okay, or even it can be on that personality level of that positive faction, of that positive ego, okay, and the intelligent blueprint activates the divine purpose of being as a co-creator with God, co-creator with the divine. The spiritual identity and the intelligent blueprint of divine purpose are one and the same. Clarity of purpose and direction becomes clearer and clearer as one commits to live in service to the principles of all. All is one, or Christ spirit, walking with God with Christ, Christos SOPHIA consciousness. Knowing and living our purpose brings joy, peace, and fulfillment, even when facing adversity or challenges. Yeah, I can affirm to that. I mean, I still have to go to work. I'm dealing with all kinds of things. I've been 6G, right? And just kind of living simply. I have to live simply, paying bills and taxes, and I pretty much kind of have to be in this physical world and just kind of being self-sufficient here and doing this spiritual work and working on the project and helping others whenever I can, whenever I can, and if it's of course needed or if it's desired, right? Because you cannot cross people's will and tell them what to do if they don't want to listen to it. Or if they're not ready. So a responsible co-creator knows all manifestations are in partnership with the all, with the one. We do not possess or control anything, so our needs, desires, and superimposing will should be avoided. I mean, those ego needs, I would say the ego desires, not of that desires of our heart, of our soul, right? That should be put either to side or has to be transmuted. We have to love ourselves, love God, love others, right? Love Mother Earth, Mother Nature. We have to be of service, of course. We're working on ourselves. We are on path of evolution, expansion of our consciousness. And then we can be responsible co-creators with the divine, right? And this is not my will, but done be done, right? We're the stewards of God's Spirit to serve others in responsible co-creation with all. With the all is one, okay? From this knowing and living this principle, we are eternally free of karmic exchanges, right? So of karma exchanges, so again, I was talking about from Dharma, right? I'm in a path of Dharma, actually universal Dharma looks like, or Galactic Dharma, 888. And here we go, this is the wheel of Dharma. So, and that's why I am coming with this project, right? Again, if you guys can see that. And just kind of being of service. The project now is my fulfillment. I mean, I really live for this project. Yeah, this noble eightfold path here. Okay, compassionate witnessing, right? And here connection to Andromeda, the cosmic Christ consciousness here embodying, and helping my soul group to free themselves from that alien machinery, from those dark forces. Okay, and you know, of course, I do it through being mindfulness, through meditation, right? The right approach. And you know, here's a peace mudra. This is even how the elite they were actually distorting the mudras, the gesture, the symbols that it come from yoga, from Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, right? Yeah, Narayana. Yeah, it's just you know, again, we have to be. That's why we have to be aware of the agenda of those negative aliens and how they really distorted the teachings of the ascended masters of the Great White Brotherhood of Solar Rishis, of Buddhism, of Hinduism. And we have to bring everything into divine alignment and doing all these corrections, all this symmetry, right? The sacred geometry, going back to the divine blueprint, which is the base 12 mathematics, base 12 mathematics, 144 harmonics with the light spectrum frequency. Okay, so guys, so many blessings and namaste, and I'll talk to you next time. Remember to love yourself unconditionally. It's very important. Again, Ave Maria, Rosa Mystica, ora pro nobis, gratia. Namaste. So the light, divine light that is within me is honoring the light that is within you in equality. Namaste.